All right, folks, good morning. Let's get airborne with Solo AMZN. And that actually looks like Amazon right now. The Death Star half blown up and getting more blown up along with the overall market, as we predicted. Bottom line up front, we're going lower, a lot lower from here. But we've been nailing this all the way down. And hopefully you have been too. Hey, man, episode 27 of the Max Afterburner podcast just dropped with Sledge. Sledge, my brother, he's been a TGO member for a while. He's over in our Max Afterburner group, and obviously you all know Sledge because he's done the medicine 2 times, and obviously the second time he did the medicine was with our No Fallen Heroes team. So you'll get to meet Sledge at the No Fallen Heroes extended premiere on May 28th if you're coming on down. And along with Maverick, obviously. I just keep seeing I talked to a couple of my buddies who went to the Navy premiere. Obviously, I talked to Ferg. He's a cheerleader, but some of the guys that saw it are just blown away. So really, really looking forward to it. We got a couple weeks to go until everybody sees it. I think it's Top Gun Tuesday. I think the 24th you can see it too. Like some theaters are doing an early premiere, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to wait for everybody. So I'm really looking forward to that weekend. A lot of good stuff going on. So make sure you check out Sledge and I debriefing his Air Force career and how he found the medicine, or more to the point, how the medicine found him. Okay, let's go ahead and get airborne. First thing I want to say is, how many times in the past month did I draw something like that and tell you that's going to happen? So we still have lower to go. So this was a no-brainer. Short squeeze, and then reality setting in. We're going much lower. I think we're maybe halfway through the bear down move. But remember, this is not going to happen. Let me tell you exactly what's not going to happen. I'm usually pretty good at this stuff. Here's what's not going to happen, because people keep searching for a bottom, right? Stop it. Well, first of all, let's do this. In the words of Goose and Mav, let's roll inverted. Anybody see a trend? I mean, what's the trend there? If you haven't shifted your strategic mindset, you have failed. You have failed to listen to me for the past month, telling you that you have to shift your mindset. A lot of people who've never seen this type of market before, running around hoping and praying that it turns. I'm confused. I get that you're new, but man, there's a trend right there, and that trend will not break. I'm going to tell you, as we're inverted, let me tell you what's not going to happen. That it is physically impossible to get a V-shaped recovery out of this market. If anything, and I hate making this prediction, that's going to happen. Kind of looks like the stock market for the past year, right? So let's roll verted. For a whole host of reasons that we're going to get into. And obviously we're in Solo AMZN, so we're going to talk about Amazon, obviously getting destroyed with Rivian, Ford dumping. I think Morgan Stanley said Amazon sold 13 million shares of Rivian. Whoops. So a lot of stuff to debrief as far as Amazon, but let's get to it. I got this one. I didn't get it wrong. My timing is off a little bit. Russia will declare war on Ukraine. Vlad didn't do it today in his May 9th or whatever it is victory parade. He got pretty damn close. But I'm again, I hate talking like this because I don't like being right with these things, but these are all dots. After the 9/11, everybody sat there in the debrief and said, look at all those dots we should have connected. Fucking duh. Like the guys at the Pompano Airport, at the Pompano Flight School, in the hangar next to me, calling the FBI going, hey man, there's a bunch of Arab dudes that just want to learn how to like fly the plane and turn off the squawk, not land or take off. Yeah, whatever. We're busy going after radical veterans. Okay. So connecting the dots here, even Russian state TV said this over the weekend. World War III is more realistic and more probable than Putin accepting defeat. This is the top Russian TV channel. So this is like saying fuck in church. Once you say it, it's out there. And thank you, pro-abortion people, for storming in the Catholic churches over the weekend, yesterday, on Mother's Day of all days. Thank you for just showing us everything. So once the head of the damn state TV says this, do you think Putin goes, oh, well, now I have to accept defeat? I mean, I can't start World War III. His entire country knows this now. Are you guys paying attention? Am I the only one listening to the dude? Not only the dude, but his media saying, and his foreign minister and the Secretary of Defense, so when, not if, Vladimir Putin uses a tactical nuclear weapon and the world goes ape shit and is shocked, who's not going to be shocked? Me. Why? Because I listened to them. But at least Joe Biden flew to Ukraine this weekend. Joe Biden flew to Ukraine. Joe Biden travels to the Ukrainian border. Well, we have a border too. Never seen the first lady at our southern border. Weird. We briefed this last week. Russia not taking the NATO threat seriously. So, folks, years ago, was it 2018, 2017, when I had not fear, right? Or to fear. Trump, oil, Fed, Europe, Asia, Russia. That was my acronym. I also told you that the Fred Sanford was coming because of what the Fed is doing. The Fred Sanford is here. You're in the Fred Sanford. This is the big one. And if Vladimir Putin, not if, when he lights off a nuke, that's going to be it for this market. Ain't no Fed put. Putin uses Russia's Victory Day parade to justify invasion of Ukraine. We are under a threat from the West. I just don't get what's going on in Ukraine, folks. I really don't get it. We're just going to keep funneling weapons and weapons and weapons and more death and more death and more death. More billions and billions of dollars, not for veterans in this country, not for homeless veterans, not for mental health, not for just shoveling money into Ukraine. Everybody agrees, Russia agrees, we agree that we're fighting what's called a proxy war in Russia because we don't have the balls to fight Russia. We're going to use the Ukrainian people, women, children, men, as cannon fodder. More death, more destruction. Raytheon, Lockheed, we just keep pumping into a war zone. Now, I get it, folks. Wiz, what's the alternative? The alternative is some sort of peace. Well, here comes the domino theory, right? All the idiots like Lyndon Johnson. Well, if Vietnam falls, Cambodia, Laos, Asia, the whole world goes Ruski and red, and it doesn't. I think we've done a good enough job. Like, hey, Vlad, you make a move on a NATO country, it will be World War III. Good article in the journal over the weekend about Soviet doctrine. They actually believe, ladies and gentlemen, that they can win a nuclear war. Are you listening to me? The United States military believes nuclear forces are what? A deterrent. I'm a military man. I know this shit. We believe that rational men and women don't use nukes because it would be mutually assured destruction. Colonel Putin does not believe that. Their Secretary of Defense, or whatever he is, a couple days ago, said that they believe they can win a nuclear war. Are you listening to me? Again, Americans are doing you won't do that. Stop thinking like you and start thinking like your enemy. Read. I was an adversary pilot, folks. Read your enemy's doctrine. They believe they can win a nuclear war. Elon Musk sent out a tweet over the weekend. If I die under mysterious circumstances, it's been nice knowing you. Why? Because Musk fired off a couple tweets about some chilling messages from the Russian media. Wow. So, the word Nazi doesn't mean what he seems to think it does, Musk said, and attached what appears. Here's a translation from a Russian media outlet. From the testimony of a captured Ukrainian colonel, it turns out that the internet terminals of Elon Musk's Starlink satellite company were delivered to the militants of the Nazi battalion. According to our information, the delivery of Starlink was carried out by the Pentagon. Elon Musk, thus, is involved in supplying the fascist forces in Ukraine with military communication equipment. And for this, Elon, you will be held accountable like an adult, no matter how much you play the fool. So if Vladimir Putin kills billionaires with a cup of tea, what do you think can happen to Elon Musk? Folks, I'm not shitting you, man. This is what's amazing to me. Just sitting here looking at social media over the weekend and just how stupid retail traders are, who don't know what's going on. Oh, jeez. Who's this, Michael Saylor? I remember this. Go mortgage your house and buy Bitcoin with it, said Michael Saylor last March. Bitcoin is down 46%. My home personally is like quadrupled in the past year, but anyway. But ladies and gentlemen, margin calls, liquidations, Bitcoin imploding. Stocks can go to zero. Bitcoin can go to zero. There's no value in it. The only value that's in it is what? What everybody kind of agrees is value. Amazon has value. It's got airplanes, it's got big buildings and stuff like that. We have so much further to go down, it's not even funny. China trade slows as demand drops. And COVID lockdowns. Are you guys even paying attention to this? Did you see the over the weekend, like the dudes in the white suits literally were duct taping people? They had this dude and they were like, I thought it was a fraternity prank. It was China. The COVID cops literally had duct tape and were duct taping people and throwing them in trucks. This reminds me of January 2020 in China. This whole zero COVID thing, man. The weakest export growth in almost 2 years. The impact of inflation on foreign consumers. This is an absolute train wreck. Well, who is our biggest trading, I hate using this word, partner? China. China's trade with the rest of the world withered last month. Oh boy. Factories are shut down, supply chains are being crippled. Let's go, Brandon. Where's Mayor Pete? Is he off baby leave yet? Ladies and gentlemen, this is an absolute train wreck. Shanghai, these city, 25 million people locked up. We're ripping ourselves apart about abortion, and we're ignoring nuclear war and China closed. You guys bullish? The 10-year extending its rise. Inflation concerns persist. Last week, ladies and gentlemen, Jerome Powell failed miserably. Jerome Powell is a coward. I know what that word means because I served in the military. He's a coward. Anybody who isn't willing to stand up and do their job is a coward. Leave. Didn't want to spook the markets by saying we're going to do some big cuts if needed. No, we're not. What? We at Top Gun Options said 4 months ago when the 40-year inflation high number hit, I said, breaking news, emergency Fed press conference, emergency rate hike. Not a word. People are burning to death with inflation. You see this you see the jobs number on Friday? Yay, a little bit of jobs. Wage. Folks, people, wages. It's fucking Jen Psaki. Wages increased 5.5%. Inflation's at 8. It's a 8.5. It's a 3% pay cut, you moron. But she talks to morons. Wages are up. Inflation's almost double what the wages went up. Wages are up. You're an idiot. So, financials, folks. I got this wrong. You can put this in the whiz wrong column. Usually, how many times do I say this? When interest rates are high, stocks will die. Except financials, I say. When interest rates are low, stocks will grow. Fed rate hikes are good for banks, unless we're in a recession. So I'm getting this wrong, folks. Or actually, I'm not going to get it wrong. Let me make a prediction. Banks are going to get destroyed. Higher rates are usually good news for bank shares, not this year. This, ladies and gentlemen, this is why you don't trade off the left side of a chart. This is why Wiz threw out 33 or whatever books. I forget how many books. I was going to count them. An entire recycling bin of trading books because it's over with. Not one person on the face of this planet has traded this market. I mean, you can say that anyway because today's today, but I mean in general, folks. I don't care if you're Warren Buffett or Munger. Nobody's traded in a market, first of all, with China shut down, nuclear war in Europe on the horizon, and raging inflation, and the Fed just kind of dragging their feet to fix it. So this would be the one time where, guess what? The Fed raising interest rates is not going to be bullish for banks. They're going to get destroyed. So, as many of you know, that I think the official definition of a recession is what? Two or is it three? 3/4 of negative growth. You guys have been here for a while. You know what I'm going to say. We're in a recession right now. We're already in it. So in a month or two, when we look, they're going to come out and say, yeah, we're in a recession. However, no, let me fix that. No, they're not. I don't know how they can avoid doing this, but they're going to try, right? We got midterms coming up. I don't care how much you frothed at the mouth about abortion. It ain't being illegal, folks. And God forbid you got to travel a little bit if you want to kill your child. I'm sorry. What an inconvenience that thing has been to you. That maybe you have to go to someplace else to get one. Wow. It's the economy, stupid, said a wise Democratic strategist, James Carville, under Bill Clinton. The midterms will be about the economy. Just about most voters have some sort of what? IRA, 401k, SEP IRA, something. They're dying from inflation, and now their stock market is dying. But you keep just beating that abortion drum, baby. So the Fed has failed. Jerome Powell has failed miserably. Let me make another prediction. I predict that he is going to actually have to break his, well, it wasn't iron, right? It wasn't like, I completely rule out down the road. He gave his standard Fed bullshit towards the end, like, well, and if things change, things are going to change. Over the weekend, I enjoyed reading all these posts from people saying, I wonder when the Fed's going to come back in, and posts and this and that, and, a Fed put and everything like that. If the Fed jumps back in to save capitalism, it'll be too late. Rivian, Ford, Amazon, dumping. Today's the day that the lockup expires. This should have been free. I should have been better on this, like pounding this into the dirt. No, we knew when the lockup day was coming. Why didn't we get bearish and buy puts? That was dumb. This was a missed trade out of me. Huge missed trade. Couldn't needed to get on that. Late last month, Amazon and Ford revealed they had lost a combined $12 billion on their Rivian investments. Unbelievable. Wow. I don't know how this company stays in business. I mean, this is going lower, guys. There's no way this stock recovers. Your two biggest shareholders bail out. Tesla seeing anything today? Tesla's got 750 written all over it. So Rivian helping Amazon get hammered here. Amazon going lower. We made like, what was it, 13 grand in last month on bearish Amazon trades, and it's going lower. I do not see a bottom in Amazon, folks. Raging inflation. Supply chain issues out of China. We are almost at the 52-week low. 2,200. Holy shit, man. So there goes the, it's Amazon 2000 easily. That was resistance 1, 2, 3. I remember it breaking 2000. There you go, man. There's our COVID crash, and then it, boom. Amazon 2000 is next. Easily. Yeah, exactly, Bart. That's exactly right. Charles, no. It's not too late to short. I wouldn't use the word short. I'd say get bearish. Short implies like selling shares short, not me. I'd buy puts on Rivian. This thing's going to keep on going lower. I mean, down 50. What's the bullish case? I mean, you think nuclear war is coming in Europe, it's going to be heading even lower. And there's a lot of, look at these 24 puts, 23 puts. There's a lot of downside put activity on this. 4,600 to 22.5 strike. May 27th. If you think it's got lower to go, Charles, buy some puts. Hell, there's 4,000 down at the, there's a lot of volume and open interest down at the 20 strike. Somebody's betting that Rivian's got a lot farther to go. I'm going to join them. Let's do a bear put spread on Rivian. Give it a little bit of selling those. Yep. Earnings are coming up. So with earnings, Deb, I I love the fact that all of this happened before earnings. Is this guy gonna, he's what's his name at the end of Animal House? Remain calm, all is well. How does the CEO get on the call and be like, "Well, we lost Ford and we lost Amazon, but we really hope our midterms will pull up our grade point average." You could, Tamara, knock out a burner trade. If you think if earnings are just going to get destroyed, you could do a burner trade on Rivian, man. I just don't see how they report anything good. It's 125. Yeah, there's a lot of put activity. All right, let's do this. I'm going to buy 125 of the regular May expiration. That's past earnings. So if there is, no, this is a bear put spread. Buying 20 puts, selling the 18s. This is a bear put spread, not a bear call spread. You could do both, man. You could do a bear call spread, but well, let's just stick with this one for now. 41 cents. Let me take a screenshot of this. And the S&P 500 just keeps slowly melting too. I think this is going to get ugly. Remember, what is the biggest event this week? Has anybody done their pre-flight brief? What's the biggest event this week? What's big going on this week? Let me grab a screenshot. You got it, Steve. You got it. Yep, Jesse, you guys got it. CPI. So Mumbles McShitty Pants is having a press conference tomorrow, which is Tuesday. Why is he doing that? Because the CPI comes out on Wednesday. It's probably going to be 9%. We're at like 8.5 right now. He's got to try and step in front of it, man. So what's he going to say? He's having a press conference about what? I don't even know. I mean, it's a joke at this point. The man's a joke. This entire country is just in absolute dire straits. January 6th was an insurrection, but let's go to Supreme Court justices' houses and attack them over a decision. Did you see Mealy Mouth? Jen Psaki finally came out. I think over the weekend, even the Democrats were like, you got to condemn that, or at least say something about the. So last week, I have no comment on people peacefully protesting at judges' houses. Then what happened? The POTUS strongly. Did you hear her last week? She's such a disgrace. Last week, I don't think the president has an opinion on this. Today, POTUS strongly believes in the constitutional right to protest, but that should never include violence, threats, or vandalism. Judges perform an incredibly important function in our society, and they must be able to do their jobs without concern for their personal safety. A fucking week later. You're awful, Jen Psaki. Go to MSNBC. The new press secretary is married to a woman who is a CNN reporter, or is life partners with. I'm sorry, I don't know what the term is. But anyway, guys, so Tamara's got a good idea. You can burner trade this. There's a couple ways to play this. One, buy puts on Rivian. Two, bear call spread, bear put spread. Three, all the above, which is essentially a burner trade. All the above. If you're just like, let me buy some puts as a lotto ticket, then buy some puts. If you're like, no, I think it's going down. I really think it's going down. Earnings are coming. They're too big of shareholders. Just shit the bed. They're gone. That's a couple reallys. Do a bear call spread. Do a bear put spread. No, dude, it's going to get destroyed. I really, really, really think it's going lower. Burner trade or bearish double vertical. Your call. And there you go. It's going to kind of doing a double break here. I want to get filled on this thing. Now remember, with a debit spread, which I rarely do, you gotta kind of walk the trade up a little bit. You're not going to get filled mid-market. You're going to get filled at the S. There goes the S&P. You know what? I'm getting filled on this thing. Thank you. Because take a look at SPX. There we go. Broke right below 40.50. Look out below. Ugly. But we're options traders. We know that we can do what? Somebody asked earlier about Amazon. I think it's we're going down to 2,000. I mean, it's not even on my chart here. I can't even drop a line in down at 2,000. Anybody want to catch a falling knife? No. Time frame, it's hard to say, man. I mean, this is just, now it's momentum. Now it doesn't matter. I mean, Jeff Bezos, Amazon could cure cancer tomorrow and the stock's going to keep going down. This is momentum. Just like stocks have momentum when they do that. What do I tell you when something's doing this? Either join it or get out of the way. Same thing happens when a stock's doing that. Either join it or get out of the way. We could have a little one of these, yay, a break, down, yay, a break. Until further notice, folks, my advice is to sell every rip and do not buy the dips. I said that for the past month. Do not buy any of these dips and sell the rip. This feels like COVID crash, March 2020. And we're printing money on the way down. I counted my Amazon trades. It was like 13 grand in April. We did bear call spreads all the way down here. We could have done more. I think there was some put buying in there. I forget. But very happy with our Amazon performance in the past month. Let me kind of wrap up with this because I want to keep the 30 minutes. First of all, this is not going to happen with Amazon or the stock market. That's just not going to happen. This isn't the COVID crash where on March, 22nd, the Thursday with the weekly jobless claims, 6 million number, and then Jerome Powell came in and dropped a nuke right there. And I said, we're done. We're going up. Jeffrey Gundlach said, nope, we're going lower. This is not going to happen. Even if Jerome Powell jumps in to drop a nuke right here, which would be what at this point? Saying I'm not cutting or I'm not raising interest rates? Or I'm cutting rates? or I'm stopping QT and I'm going to go back to doing QE? It's too late. We're sitting at the end of the runway in a smoldering wreck. That's like him saying, I'm going to take off again and try and bring us around in for a smoother landing. It's not going to happen. Mainly because what the Fed and Joe Biden created is raging inflation. We are on fire. The only airplane that should be flying over this market is dropping flame retardant on this, and that is raising interest rates and stop pumping money into it. We called it a year and a half ago to stop doing this. Nobody listened. Thomas, one Rivian trade, and I'm about to close out. If you want to buy some puts, I'd be buying puts on Amazon at the 2000 strike. It's just the time frame. Probably out about a month. A month from now, Amazon's down here. It keeps going lower, folks. There's nothing to keep Amazon up at this point. In the next 30 days, folks, we make money in the white. We get paid to project our thoughts forward in space and time so we can influence our trading rather than react to our trading. In here is the potential for World War III. In here is China being locked down and supply chain shut down essentially from our biggest trading partner. In here is raging inflation. That's fire. I just, there's nothing bullish. Yeah, the split's coming up in June. That might lead to a little bit of a run up in the stock eventually. You know, put that, it's so funny. So if there's all the bads that I just listed, in the other column, put the goods a split. So now even more people can buy the stock as it goes down. So Thomas, the Amazon trade for me would be to buy some puts before the split. Maybe just go out to May 27th, which is the premiere of Maverick. Let me open up the strikes here. This is weird. Let's go to regular expiration. You know what? Let me reach out to my Amazon buddies getting destroyed. I don't even know if he's going to answer me. No, I'm just going. You know what? For now, I'm sticking with the Rivian. I'm doing the Rivian, and that's it. I'm not going to force an Amazon trade or an XLY. I mean, for that matter, XLY is going down as well. Everything's going down, guys. Bitcoin, really starting to see people start to panic around the Bitcoin stuff. XLY breaking that. Yeah, there's the Amazon and Tesla ain't helping the XLY. So, and this, this is another bearish double vertical candidate right here. This is all momentum right here, guys. This is not, well, I'm not going to say it's not fundamentals. Of course it's fundamentals. Things are imploding because things are imploding. Things are bad. Not getting any better. We'll see what Mumbles McShitty Pants has to say tomorrow. The man can't say anything to stabilize this market at all. I wouldn't, yeah. So, anyway, all right, guys. At these prices, I'm buying Bitcoin and Ethereum. Tamara, knock yourself out. It's good stuff. If you're bullish at these levels on those names, then remember, guys, this is technically, if you believe markets go up over time, then this is a good time to buy, right? As everybody else is panicking, it's time to walk in and buy some stuff. I get it, man. This is good stuff. But I would not be walking in at these prices on anything and buying right now. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Again, I'm not going to beat a dead horse. If you logged in late, listen to the beginning. You guys, this hasn't started to get bad yet. At all. Nuclear war is coming in Ukraine. Period. The Russian media are telling us it's coming. Vladimir Putin is telling us it's coming. Sergei Lavrov is telling us it's coming. Their Secretary of Defense told us it's coming. The United States and NATO? No, you crazy. No, you won't. Oh, you, Vlad. You big kidder, you. The man's not kidding. You're playing chicken with a madman who has nuclear weapons, and he believes he can win. Should we be talking about peace or sending more weapons and Joe Biden? Should we be talking about peace or sending more weapons? I haven't heard one mention of peace talks. Have you? A month ago, they were Russians and Ukrainians sitting in a room across the table from each other and talking about peace. Now we just keep shoveling weapons in and more death and more destruction. and it's a stalemate. The one side is saying they're going to win no matter what. So is the other side. One side has tactical nuclear weapons, which they said they're going to use if they're really losing. The other sides, no, they won't. Okay. You guys believe that they won't. I will plan on them doing what they say they're going to do and making money off of it. So this is bad. The VIX will be at 100 when a tactical nuke is used, and the S&P will be at 2,000. That's my prediction. I hate talking about making money off of this type of shit, but that's what we are here to do. Quick reminder, drew this a couple times last week, right? Whoops, sorry. It's hard to draw with this thing. That's what markets, this is abnormal. Now we're coming down. So, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of opportunity right now, folks. I don't think we're anywhere close to a bottom, but this is definitely, is that S&P 3,500? Maybe S&P 3,500 might be the next stop, because we're clearly not holding here. I mean, if you think about it, folks, where did we depart from? Remember January of 2020? Those were the good old days, man. Trump had beaten a couple impeachments. China had succumbed to a trade war. Stock market at record highs, unemployment at record lows. Shit was good. Boom. And then that. The stock market having a rip your face off rally in the face of shit. A scandemic, war, just insane politics at home. Everything in here is fake. Reality is setting in. The Fred Sanford is alive and well, and it's going to get worse. Let's end on a high note. We're all here. We're all breathing. We're loved. God loves us. Everything's going to be okay. Everything's always okay. Trust me. But keep your powder dry. Pray. Let's pray. I prayed hard that I would be wrong about Trump attacking North Korea, and I loved it. 25 million North Koreans dead, Seoul pounded by 1,000 artillery pieces, 4 million people, and it didn't happen. Love it. I'd love to see everybody down at the Maverick premiere, the No Fallen Heroes first look, and like, ha-ha, Putin surrendered and went home to Russia. Oh, darn, everybody gets a nice bottle of Camus Cab from Wiz. I love those type of things. So, all right, guys, good stuff. Rivian, I'm filled on. S&P trying to stabilize somewhere, trying to look out below. But this is just, oh, there you go. We got in the trade. It was down 13%. Now it's down 16%. This thing's going to break. Look at that. What's that, 24 and a half? Yeah, that's ugly. Going to be an ugly day, but when you're bearish, it's good. And it's sad, man. If you guys know anybody who's getting destroyed right now, again, I laugh about these times because my social media, I get DMs from people like, hey, I know we haven't talked in 32 years since eighth grade. But what should I do with my 401k? Now's when people start beating down our door at TGO. Man, my buddy Mike McDougall that I started wealth creation investing with, he's got a ton of people that are out of business. All these little $17 a month newsletters, they're getting wiped out. TGO stands tall because we know what we're doing. Okay. All right, guys, I got to get going. Big Mondays for me. A lot of positive stuff going on. Like I said, make sure you go check out Sledge right now with the episode 27. I'm an equal opportunity make funner of So Air Force is allowed on the Max Afterburner podcast, because I need to keep, every once in a while I need to bring somebody on to bring my ratings down so people make it believable, right? We can't have the ratings just keep going straight up. We gotta keep ourselves grounded a little bit. So, all right, folks, I'll get the replay posted here shortly, and I'm going to blast out a text alert right now with the trade. All right, guys, have a great rest of your day. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge. God bless. Namaste, and fights on.